Hello, greetings. Thank you for joining us for tonight's broadcast. Brought to you by the Fifth Dimension. And, yeah, I was working on this Skype recorder using this system. Did not work. So I have to come up with something better, but anyway. Alright, I have an announcement to make after this video. After this upload, whatever you want to call it, I don't like calling it a video, call it broadcast, whatever you want to call it. Distracting. I went to downtown Clearwater where Scientology is. I did a video down there. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that again. It was very eerie and spooky. So sometimes the wind is blowing, you can't hear what the hell I'm saying, but just fuck it. I did the best I could. I didn't want to get too close to the place and cause any difficulties, but it's like a place is spooky as shit. So yeah, I feel like somebody might be following me or something like that. You never know with those people. I mean, obviously probably not, and part of me wants to cause a lot of difficulties for them. So that's another thing. It's like I wanna fuck with their minds. So part of me just won't, you know. So it's yeah, most of that was in my mind. It's like, man, I'll just let the really screw with these people. But so that's another reason why I got kind of paranoid myself being down there. So it's a little bit of a walkthrough. At the first, it's not a walkthrough. It's kind of like I'm planning my idea. I was gonna go downtown, but it's like, I'm not sure if I feel good about that. So I walked around, got used to where just. And then I went downtown for a little bit. I didn't get too close to anything, but I don't know if I want to do that again or not, but we'll see. I thought about channeling down there and say, fuck those people, but you never know. So, yeah, so it's going to be uploaded after this. So, alright, the main event is, I already forgot the title. It is spiritual leaders can sometimes make the best slaves. Yeah. I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that. I'm not trying to be, attack or anything like that. But when you really look at some of the spiritual, look at YouTube, those that are on there that are really popular, and you say it's like, you know what, you're making a pretty good slave, aren't you? And you really dive into it, it's like, yeah, they're making pretty good slaves. So the idea is to how to break out that, you have to kind of be like a radical and break out of the old thinking. Because you notice some of the, I'm not gonna mention any names, like old channelers have been around for a while, nothing really is changing. Everything's the same old, same old. And then you have new channelers coming copying the old templates, and once again, nothing's changed. Now they might be lining their pockets with green, with wealth, but and not to say they're not helping people, but things overall stays the same. So you kind of have to come in and start breaking through the old ways of thinking, and you have to kind of think outside the box. Say things that are not very popular, but not trying to be mean. No, I'm not trying to do that at all. But it's like when you look at some of the old spiritual teachers that have been around for a while. Now, like Eckhart Tolle, he did actually do a major shift, from what I feel. He did shift things. So I don't think he is part of that. He's assisting with moving out of the slave. Of course, I'm not aware of all the spiritual teachers, so you just have to go by what you pick up on. But Eckhart Tolle is one of the ones. I don't think he's part of that. Trying to heal. I mean, obviously they're all healing, but he did kind of a jolt of the old ways. Kind of pushes off the railroad tracks of the old thinking, you could say. As for others, they're doing the best they can. Not to say they're bad or anything like that. But they do make good slaves when you really look at it. When you look at it from that point of view, it's like, you're just trying to find out your slave ways here, right? When you really think about it. I was like, I'm just trying to be a good slave. And that's the The idea is to make a break out of Alcatraz. And sometimes you have to say things that are not popular, not to be mean, not to be attacked, not to do anything like that, because most of them have the right, they mean well, but the idea is like you want to make a breakout, you gotta take the old book and throw it out. Same with channeling, same with everything else. Remember, many of them that are doing success are running on the old fuel, and now the idea is to put new fuel into the system and go to a new direction. So, yeah, somebody's got to get hate. I guess I'll be that person to do it. It's like I'm not trying to cause anything. I mean, I already get a lot of not so good stuff from a lot of the ones that are established anyway. So, yeah, you think it would get like warm and fuzzy. Yeah, I don't get any of that. Just screw you, get lost. So yeah, I wonder why I'm not connecting to other healers or channelers, because they're not contacting me. So it's like I'm not gonna reach out to them because I don't think any of them like me. So I don't care. Like, screw it. That's the way it's gonna be. That's the way it's gonna be. So I don't really care. So that's why I'm creating my own stuff. Eventually, I do like a channel type of group with other channelers coming, but I don't have the time for that. In the future, definitely, but not now. I got a job. I went out to Sci-Fi Town. My brain is on fire right now. I was gonna answer questions. I can't do that because I'm like trying not to get followed and attacked, like physically. That's a spooky town. So I was gonna title this Sci-Fi Town, but not yet. Tomorrow I'll do that. Yeah, Scientology is a very scary place, but it's like I was wondering, like, why the hell do I live here? It's like, okay, I got military place, I got Disney World, I got fucking bullshit, and I got Sci-Fi Town, and the sci-fi area is like one of their main hubs. So I was really careful in what I videoed. It's spooky. They can follow you. They can, do your license plate and stuff like that. So I was trying to avoid anything like that, so I was kind of distant in some ways. I mean, look at that. This is a religion. It is supposed to be love and care, and it's all none of that's garbage. It's just pretty much a cesspool. So Xenu downtown Xenu is downtown Clearwater. So I did do a video of that. I wasn't sure about going downtown, but I was like, screw it. So that's coming up after this broadcast. Shit, my brain is still on fire. Shit. Yeah, I don't want to cause any difficulties. Sometimes part of me does, the other part, not really. There's a new doll that I've been told I call my private sessions. I think we do somewhere. We also have going out of channel and be a freak. Google Hangout, Zoom, and channeling by phone. You have to shop. I think I'm like 5 days for delivery. I would be a little bit. I can't do anything. My brain's not operating well, but we'll be back on answering questions. Of course, Tuesday I can't do anything because of the webinar, and Thursday I can't, so I'm doing what I can. We also have Social Network. I'm sorry. Spirit Social. Yeah. We have other channelers and healers I do recommend. We also have the Social Network here. We have the Jake Comic that's here to break the rules also. So, alright. Yeah, I'm a little bit still shook up from all that. Not that I got chased or anything. I was trying not to get chased. Try to be calm, try to be cool. Yeah, it's a wicked area. So I'll do more connections on it, but today this is more about, I'll do that more tomorrow, but tonight is more about spiritual teachers and basically breaking out of the old mold. Now those who have been doing this for a long time are going to have difficulties thinking differently, obviously. So they're going to be kind of vicious and not very friendly. But how do you break out? The idea is we're breaking out of the prison system. Think for yourself, you can connect on your own. Some people are married to archangels, married to aliens, married to spirits on the other side. It's like, it's open up those channels to remove this blockage that's currently here. I'll give you another. I'm doing channel text too. I did some of that today. And I connected to the square objects, a dimension, astral dimension, but also a universe of objects of like the square. Think of a human being with a square head, no facial features. I connected to something around those lines. I can put up a picture. I don't have a picture now, but either way, I could probably visualize it. And I'm still getting used to that. So other dimensions are obviously connecting to ours, but notice how the buildings, the tall skyscrapers, are all rectangular. It's like the square one was, I don't want to say won the war, but they're a lot more popular, obviously. And all these so we're kind of other dimensions are connecting to ours, obviously. And that's so many people here have so many difficulties healing. I think a lot of souls are really having difficulties leaving this dimension, leaving the third dimension, and they're holding on to it for dear life. Even those in the spiritual communities, I think, are holding on to it. You're not channeling this, you're not channeling that, blah, 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 blah. It's like they want the fiction, they want the movie, but they're not ready to let go of this reality. So some are more comfortable hearing the story about the Pleiadians and Arcturians flying around doing the channeled movie than letting go of this dimension and actually experiencing it. It's like throwing away this reality, which is not easy, but many are holding on to it for dear life, and those are in the spiritual communities. So you'd be surprised. And that's where I get hit sometimes. It's like we want to hear channelings, but we don't really want to change. So, and sometimes that even goes into the spiritual teacher, where that person kind of maybe even wants to evolve, but then doesn't. Because all my success is not evolving and just telling you all of these with our drama and zoo, and everyone's having sex on the floor and all that. No one's really, it sounds fun and everything, but no one's here really evolving. Many souls here are not ready, obviously, but it does not mean that we can't. Well, it's going to happen anyway. So many don't want to hear it, don't want to really experience the change, because it's going to happen. We're going to start shifting out of this dimension eventually. New ideas are going to start coming in, and it's nice getting channeled messages and all that, make you feel all warm and fuzzy. But we're leaving this the third dimension reality little by little. And I believe many are just not ready to hear it. It's just, I get hit with it and jacked around and stuff like that. Here and there, not always, but some like to command the third dimension, command knowledge, and want to be the one that everyone's going to for the information. And once again, nothing changes. They're out there. I've dealt with them, and they're not fun. And they're two-faced too. Very two-faced, and some of them hide. Some of them are out in the. So not all of them are in the spiritual communities. Showing their face. They just want to think they have all the knowledge, and it's kind of creepy, actually. I've dealt with them, and it's a lot of ego. It's a lot of souls not ready to evolve. A lot of darkness there that once again tries to hold on to this reality. We're here to really break out of this reality, and many people are saying you're not doing this, you're not channeling this, not channeling that, trying to discredit you so they can stay in this reality. They're holding on to this place for dear life. I'm not talking about spiritual teachers, I'm talking about whoever. But it does feel like we're going into a slowly evolving to graduate into the new phase. And action is needed, and things will start to evolve when the time is right. But there's many that are like driving with the parking brake on, saying they want change, but they're not really ready for it. So obviously there's many that have a pure heart, they're very kind, and just want to grow and release from the prison and be free. but there, I think a good amount, they want all the knowledge and want to be worshipped instead. So there's a lot of ego running around. Some of the cults have that. I'm not going into details. And it's just some are just not really to evolve and ready to let go of this place. And it can be very, very vicious. So it does affect the spiritual teacher too. So, but we are, I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know how things are going to happen, but we are slowly evolving into a new way of thinking, basically. And it's going to start, as we're gradually going into, like, next year. Like some people already said, everything's going to change in November, and nothing changed. Anytime they do any of these predictions, of course I'm kind of doing a prediction, but not really. I mean, yes and no, but because I don't know exactly what's going to happen. But we are going into a new way of life. It doesn't mean the aliens are going to be landing or anything like that, but humans are going to start evolving to more alien awareness within, which will help your senses connect to the alien beings around. Definitely, many are. That's the thing. It's like we're waiting for them to show up. I mean, not to say you won't see ships here and there and things like that. It doesn't mean that's not going to happen. But instead of watching the movie, you're going to experience it. Be an experiencer instead of just seeing this land and that fly by. You're going to actually help it happen. And you kind of are already. But you're just basically getting connected more to the change. So I don't know what's going to happen next year. There's a shift, and a lot of us are waiting for things to change, and nothing changes, and it becomes very aggravating. It's like, come on, let's do something. So, I don't know I don't know where the future holds. Sometimes you gotta take a risk and do something a little bit different, but there's always a time and place for everything. But we are shifting out of third dimension, and we're kind of like leaving the old thinking patterns, but we're kind of adjusting to what we want, how we want to experience this. And it's going to be ideas, channel messages. It's going to be a little bit more people are going to just activate, and it's just more people are going to go to activate, connect to their own information. Don't necessarily need information from other channelers. Some of them might resonate, some of them might not, whatever. But remember, a lot of channel messages is keeping, it's also getting us ready for, fourth dimensional thinking and moving away from third dimension. So yeah, some want to be like spiritual leaders and hold on to third dimension so they can be worshipped, and books written about them and become super famous and it's all this nonsense, and ego is written all over it. So the new paradigm is unknown, but we're shifting into a new vortex of ideas. It's going to be strange. Would you rather connect to, like, I know I'm connecting to the box people. It's like, well, some people are connected to the triangle people. Well, I connected to the box people. I know it sounds very bizarre, but then when you look at our world, a lot of people live in boxes. They live in houses. The car is kind of shaped like a box. The buildings are box shaped. So you say the box dimension, box realities are connecting to us. Well, the shape dimension is connecting to us. You say the box one, you can say. I guess it say that was the energy that we utilize the best. I don't know. Well, notice all those skyscrapers. It's like, what is that crap? It's about ego, it's about this and that, but there's probably a lot more to it than just Illuminati, got a heart on. There's a lot more to it than that. There's other dimensional energies you can connect to. But breaking out of the third dimension, many are the old spiritual teachers. I don't know what's going to happen to them. They might have a nervous breakdown. Is this like photographers that are connected to film? When digital came, they was like, what the fuck is this? So I think spirituality is going to kind of get hit with that a little bit in some ways. The ideas, belief systems are shifting out of the old way of looking at things. And people are the old teachers' spiritual understanding is going to have a trouble with it. So that's really where I'm going at. It's like, I don't know, I guess we'll find out. Just start experiencing things, and just we're channel messages do help us, but also individually do evolve into something better. Many like being slaves, and I'm not sure how long that's gonna. I mean, some just enjoy the slavery. It's easier. It's more popular. Yeah, the modern celebrity is going away eventually. The Hollywood celebrity, even the music celebrity, that's going to go away eventually, because there's nothing there already. It's programmed in slaves. The idea is to move out of that thought pattern and go into a new one. A new one with open, free, no more slavery, no more attacking others. I mean, you might still do that, but maybe astrally. But maybe astral attacks are better than physical. There's probably still going to be some of that, because some here that I've dealt with some here that think nothing's ever going to change, and some of them are here to make sure that happens. Nothing. Maybe they'll get popular and nothing ever evolves. And those are kind of the ones I'm kind of dealing with in astral. At least there's one definitely I'm dealing with that's very vicious. Archon energy. It's not anyway. So yeah, it's that's what I see. I don't have the full information of where things are going. That's kind of the idea. Individually, we'll start to realize their own abilities. A lot of people aren't ready for it, but they know something's up. They know why we're being sold as a prison society. We are the prisoners. We are the slaves keeping the rich wealthy, basically. Obviously, right? The idea is to change that. And even some spiritual teachers, healers, or I'm not going to words, but some of them are actually helping you be a better slave, basically. And they are profiting off of it. The idea is to take all the slavery and shove it. And that has to do with mental programming. How do you break out of it? It takes time. How do you break out of Alcatraz? They don't make it easy. So I don't have all the answers, but there's a higher astral plane you can connect to beyond the programming. Higher astral, it's I don't know, it's different for everybody. But breaking out of this, just trusting yourself, trusting, clearing out the negative attacks or negative thoughts. No one's perfect, obviously, but connecting to your own alien energies that you feel like you're connected to. Whatever it is, spiritual, Metatrons, Archangel Michael's, whatever it is. You might see Archangel Michael as a female. You might see Gabriel as a female instead of a male. What is your reality? And don't let anybody take that away from you. It's like, is this true? Well, I don't know. Do you feel it's true? Yes. Well, then there you go. It's real then. So don't listen to these other people. They don't know anything. Because they say, listen to what I say, is I screw them. The only way is to break out of the old way of thinking and do a major shift out of it, and it just takes time. So now I have all the answers. Channeling messages, just believe in yourself and things will start to happen. Obviously we want things to happen very quickly, but things take time. Yeah, it's frustrating, but the idea is to free the soul from the slave contracts. That's this reality. So basically, as you start to break down all this slavery, you notice you're a slave. It's like, I don't want to be a slave. So you break down that slave mentality, and eventually you'll start to feel Antarctica, places that you want to connect to, Mars, and see what you feel from these different places. Antarctica has a lot of Illuminati energies there, mind control energies. The harp is there. causing us to go crazy. The idea is to break out of all of this, break out of everything, break out of old spiritual teachings, create your own spiritual teachings. What works for you? If any spiritual teachers say, "Oh, that's wrong, you're doing it all wrong, do what I say," if it's working for you, work with it. Yeah, if it works for you, that's what matters. A lot of spiritual teachers some of them are, they got their own agendas. They're not, doesn't mean they're out to cause harm. But, yeah, some think they, whatever, it's just, it's a cesspool. When it comes down to it, it's just complete another cesspool. But yeah, you have channelers that have been channeling forever, and nothing really has changed. Not really. Not really, making us a better slave. And it's just that the old paradigm, the old thinking has to go. The old spiritual thinking, spirituality has to go through an upgrade. And believe me or not, it doesn't really matter. I mean, are you still a slave? Probably. Do you want to break out of that? Sometimes some people want to. A lot of people are not ready to break out, but if you're ready to break out, just believe in yourself, believe in the reality that you're creating, and just trust yourself. There's a lot more to it than that probably, but it's, yeah, and then you don't see any results. Things take time. Do your interpretation of everything, like where you live, the house you live in, building you live in, area you live in. What do you see it through your third eye? You see anything? Is it a prison in your third eye? Might be. Is an archon energy trying to keep you to think that way, tell you to mow the lawn, tell you to do this and that, be a good human? It's like, releasing those contracts takes time. But the idea is to don't want to be a slave anymore, and have this like a spiritual change worldwide. Like, I don't know what, but releasing the old ways of thinking, releasing like government's always corrupt. We have Republicans and Democrats, all that nonsense. Isn't it time to can you guys be nice to each other? Can we just end this crap? And slowly, I think we will, but who knows how that's going to happen. But, and get more intuitive understanding of where these wars are, and what the military is basically guarding the Illuminati, basically. Pretty much. They're pissing off other countries. They have to protect themselves if they're pissing somebody off. They say they're here for the people. Are they really? Can you walk up to one and give somebody a hug? Maybe. Can you go over there and take a walking around the military thing? Probably not. So, the idea is to remove the divide and manipulation. So it takes time, obviously. It's not going to be easy to break out. I don't know. Who knows? I don't have all the answers, but just the old way of thinking, trusting yourself, and just healing the matrix, and just, what is the reality that you see? I mean, do I look like a frog person when I'm talking? Do I look like it just came out. Somebody did saw me as a green head, so who knows how I look like. Do I look like an elephant person? Do other people, it's like, what is it that you're connecting? Do you see things a little bit differently? And just go with it. It's weird, but just go with it. That's right, I think somebody mentioned me to channel my higher self. I did it a long time ago. It was weird, but we can do that here. I think that was in the email. So, all right, we'll do that. All right, one moment. We are only here for a moment. Humanity makes, yes, life very hard. It makes everything so difficult. If you look at life in a simple way, remove the restrictions, add the joy. Think more of yourselves as spiritual beings, energies of light, beyond, yes, the human energy. The human is a program. You are in the program, heal the program, a test. to put the soul into this kind of a robotic being. And it is robotic as you look at it. Many of you still have to go through a robotic society. So yes, it is organic. It is a not metal, but it is similar to a android society. You are also experiencing. You've been experiencing AI ever since human was created. It was free at one time, then became more part of the collective. So technically, society is your world is of a high mind, and how you look at it. It's on how you look at it. Different high minds are activated here, called religion. You are here to break out of it. It's not easy, but now you know how other worlds are going through, because other worlds of high mind planets are connected to yours at this time. They're plugged into your matrix. Some are Zeta, some are Reptilians, some are Archons, and they do keep an eye on your world. There's several worlds that are watching yours as we speak. How do you reverse it? Connect to those worlds. What do you see? What do you feel? Are you ready to graduate from the program of your society? It is time. Yeah, some are having difficulties digesting this, as it's so much easier to be a slave. But to notice when someone breaks out, it's only a few. Sometimes it's a group. So it starts with a few and eventually goes to the many. You are here to free yourselves, yes. There's no real guidelines of how to do it. We're kind of watching you to see how you go about it. There's no real rules or how to do there's no rule book or anything like that, how to do it. You are writing that book as you go. You're figuring it out. It's a test, a matrix test, how to break out of the matrix. But how to do it with love, some do it with anger, some do it with violence. Everyone has their own way of breaking out. Is there a wrong way? It's up to you. But to know more about your society is to open up your own world. Many want information fed to them, and then they do nothing, as you see. The idea is to create your own realities, because everyone's going to break out differently. The combination to all of your locks are different. You break out of your own cell. Blessings to you. The knowledge is always with you, as if do you want it or not. That's the question. Have you asked that question? Do you want to break out or not? Blessings. Alright, we'll just leave it at that. Alright, much love everyone. Take care. Have a great